And we're good. Okay, I actually just wanted to do a couple quick announcements before Jill got going to make sure that everyone was aware. If you guys are on a team cup and you hit Success Club by, I was just on it. Where did it go? By the 20th, which was yesterday, then you get the I'm Here to Help shirt from Carl. They did extend the All Access Annual Challenge Pack through September, which I did post that in our group already. The Week of Hard Labor, which is the new SAGI program, launches on September 5th. I think that was it. They pushed the Clean Week launch back from the end of September to October 3rd. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think they pushed it back a week. Yes. Sorry, I'm looking at Coach Breaking News. Yeah, I think that was it. Okay, Jill, you are up.
All right.
Ready to go?
Yeah, I think so. So pretty much I'm just going to talk about my current system. I finally feel like I've honed working the cold market. So I'm just going to kind of talk about a little bit about what I'm doing right now that seems to be working. So here goes. Basically every single day, like my goal is to add and connect with at least 25 people, which seems like a lot, but really I'm just doing Instagram. So I'm searching like a hashtag of something that I enjoy so that I have something I can talk to them about. So I'm 25 people. What I do is I have my notebook here. I make little boxes. I usually make like 25 to 30, just like little tiny check boxes. And then as I add people, I fill in the lines. And then I know when I hit the end that I had however many, 25 or 30 people that I added and connected with. So basically I follow what some of the people in the Beachbody Champions I talked about with connections. I usually I'll pull up someone's page, I'll quickly kind of scroll through and see if any like Shakeology, before and after pictures of workouts, whatever, like anything that might cue me into like, they're already doing something. I just do a quick look for that first. And then if I don't see anything that leads me to believe they're a coach, then I might look a little bit closer. And see what they're into. If I'm bored in like the first, 2 minutes of glancing through their page, like I just move on, because if I'm bored looking at their Instagram page, that should be like a highlight reel of their life. So if I'm already bored, or like half their pictures are dark, or they're all the same thing or something, like I'm bored by it. Like I don't even look again. So then I move on to the next person, and then if I'm interested in them and I'm like, oh, they seem really cool and fun, like they're smiling in pictures or doing different things, whatever, then I'll like 3 to 4 of their pictures. And then I try to at least comment on at least one, so that it shows that you're like actually engaging with them and what they're posting. Because you can get likes all day long, but if you're actually saying something, and make sure it's valuable, you can tell when like it's an Autobot, when they're like, great post,
Right.
a fantastic photo, and it's like a sad story or something, so make it like real, like, and maybe ask a question to get them to engage with you, like, oh my gosh, the dress is so cute, did you buy that online, like where did you get it, or whatever. And I just I finally learned to just be normal with it. Like I was super awkward about it at first. I'm like, I don't know what to say, like what do I say, like, yeah, just talk about something that you're interested in. So if they like to post pictures of their dog, like, oh my gosh, what a cute dog, what breed is that, like whatever, just comment on at least 1 to 2, so that they more than likely then will look at your profile as well. So that's like my first step with connecting, and I can do those 25 in like 20 minutes. If you have a few hashtags that you really like and vibe with, then you can get those knocked out like super fast. Like I almost make it like a game to like see how fast I can do it. And like throughout the day, when I have like 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, I'll be like, oh, I've got like a few minutes here, I'm gonna see how many I can get, and get like 5 in 5 minutes or whatever it is. You can get those so fast. And like I said, I don't waste time. If I'm looking at somebody's profile and I'm like boring, or like they don't say anything, or it's just like pictures and I'm like, I'm not interested in any of these things. Like, move on. I don't care. There's thousands of other people. I don't want to talk to somebody that's boring. So so that's what I do first. So then on the following day, I will still like, so I'll refer back to my previous day's list of ads and connects that I made. And then I'm going to message all of those people. So I look at the day before and I go down the list and I message each person. And I don't say, hey, I'm into fitness. Are you into fitness too? Like, who starts a conversation like that? If you met someone at the bar, would you be like, are you into fitness? Hi, are you into fitness? Like, you don't talk to people like that. So then I go back through their profile and like peek at them again, jog your memory of why you liked them, so maybe it's that dress that you saw that they were wearing and you were like, I seriously love this dress or whatever. Send them a message and be like, oh my God, I love that dress that you were wearing that I commented on yesterday. I can't get over it. Where did you get it? Like, something. Like, I'm trying really hard to get away from starting messages with, hey girl, because I think that is catching on. Just like they talked about that at the National Wake Up Call, I think, recently. I'm trying to get away from that because I feel like that's something people are picking up on as sounding spammy. So I try to start with just something natural that, like, if I saw you and we were friends and I'd be like, oh my God, that shirt is so cute. Or like, your dog seems really cool. Like, what kind of dog is that or whatever. Like, once somebody had like a big Great Dane that was like had these funny expressions and stuff, I'm like, does he do tricks? Like, he's hilarious. Like, I love this dog and I've seen just pictures on Instagram. Like, how much does he weigh? He looks huge, whatever. Like, just be normal, like have a conversation with people. And then I just kind of let it go natural from there. Like, if they say like, so let me get back to my process. So I message every single person. I go down the list. If they start messaging back, I keep messaging. Like, I don't respond back to them because I got to get through this list of 25 people. And if I start responding, I'm going to get off track and I'm not going to come back. So I message those 25 people. I don't respond to any messages until that's done. Because I've learned the hard way that I am like, oh, something shiny, someone talk to me. I'm going to, hey, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. And start talking to them. Because I get super excited and I want to talk to them. So don't, like, resist. Message all your people. And then a lot of times I will, if I message them about something like super specific about their page, like their dog or something, I'll like write dog next to it or something. So because Instagram doesn't always save what you previously said. So when you go back and you're like, oh, I thought I messaged this person, it's not there. And then you say, hey girl, your dog is so cute. And it's like the same exact message you already sent them. And they're like, why'd you send that to me twice? So I try to write something down when I message them, like what I talked about, so that at least the next time I can bring up something else, So just kind of a little peek on what I talked to them about. So you just repeat that cycle. So then every day you should be connecting and adding 25 new people and messaging 25 new people to start conversations, not necessarily invites. Then as the conversation goes, then that's when you can naturally flow into those invites. The third part of that is people that like or comment on my post. So this is where you can jump straight into whatever the topic was. This is where if you posted I posted recently about like closet eating, where you like eat in private and like stuff your face, but in front of other people you don't do it. It's a serious problem. So if they like to post that's specific to nutrition or fitness, like that's your open door. They already showed you that they are somewhat interested in that post for some reason. So I never feel weird sending them a message and saying, hey, thanks for the love on my post for closet eating or whatever. Do you struggle with that too? ? Or thanks for your love on my transformation post. Are you working on a fitness journey too? Same rules apply. You still go to their page, see if they're a coach, see if they're this or that, because there's nothing like messaging somebody and having them be like, yeah, I'm a coach. Like, and then you look at their page because you forgot to, and it's like coach posts like left and right, and then you feel kind of dumb. So still look at their page before you message them. Like, that's like rule number one, and look a little ways down, because some people are kind of hobby coaches and they don't post a lot about it, or you can't tell at all. So you kind of want to make sure you take a good look at their profile. So that's kind of my process. So like if you look at, I don't know how well you guys can see this at all, but like, so this is my day on Saturday. These were
So
people
Jill,
that, yeah.
can I ask a question? Okay, so you're going to add new people, and then connect just means write something on their picture or post or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you're going to go back to the people that you just connected with to then message.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yep, that's my current process. So, so this is Saturday, and at the top was people that had like watched my stories or liked to post. So I made that list first and sent messages to all those people, and then these were the 25 people that I added that day, and then went back to and messaged on Sunday. And then when they message me back, I highlight them. So you can see, I mean, it's not like totally covered with highlights, but this was only like a day ago, so some of those people don't check it very often. So I go back, and this is super old school. This is what the system I developed, and eventually I want to move to electronic, but I just felt like I needed to get a system down and play with it first. So I go back and highlight them when they message me back. So it's like saying, these people actually want to talk to me, so that when I go back through, I can be like, okay, I need to do some follow-ups. Like, those are the people I want to follow up with first, because they're already engaged in a conversation with me. Like, it's not gonna be my priority to like be like, oh, this person didn't write me back, hey, how's it going, and say the same thing again. You know, those are all options, but my priorities are going to be the people that already said something back. So that's my current system with what I've been doing every day. And then let's see, what am I missing?
How do you make your follow-up list? Like your regular follow-up list, not just like the who people have talked to.
So pretty much like once a week, I go through and see who I've talked to that maybe I haven't heard back from for a while. And sometimes I have ongoing conversation with somebody for the entire week about just whatever. And then I don't have a perfect system yet as far as that goes for follow-up. Like if it's somebody that is not cold market, like I just keep those as a running list, you know, like whoever I've been talking to that week, I'll just write their name on my contact list, basically the same as whoever liked to post or whatever. Like I need to reach back out to them, which I've really moved away from my warm market. So I haven't really had a lot of those type of follow-ups lately. I've been more focusing on the cold market. So right now I'm just following back up with the people that I've highlighted. Or if they say like, yeah, I'm interested in XYZ, like then I make sure and write them down, you know, on the next day. Or, you know, I just write something next to it that says like, or I'll highlight them and say follow up within a week or whatever, like whatever we discussed. If they were like, yeah, I want to do some free groups, let me know when it's closer to your next one or whatever. Like I'll keep a list of those people as well. So far I was kind of like not ever getting anyone cold market to do pretty much anything. So I took the advice of Angie in our Push to Diamond group, and she talked a lot about free groups. And basically, it just takes the pressure off of you to like try to feel like you have to like make a sale. Always like plan your free groups in advance. So this is something I just started doing. So like I know for the next 6 weeks like when exactly the free groups fall. So that if they're talking to me and they're like, and I was talking to them about their dog, you know, I can be like, oh, hey, yeah, I have this free challenge coming up. It's called Must Love Dogs. And it's just a fun 3-day group on Facebook, you know, and they're like, oh, that sounds kind of fun. Tell me more about that. Well, it's so much easier to invite somebody to like just a free Facebook group than it is to be like, oh, do you want to buy this challenge pack and be in this challenge? And people get a little freaked out when you start talking about money and you just started talking to them. Like a lot of people would just ghost on you and stop talking. So the free group has been like really helpful. Like I think I had like, I don't know, 10 people or something in my last free group that I just met on Instagram. And that's a first for me. Like I hadn't been finding cold market people that would say yes to me for anything. Like they would say they're interested, I would tell them about it, and then they would disappear. So I'm working on figuring out how to better follow up with some of those people too, to see like what did I say that scared them away. But some people just don't answer, so you don't really know what to think. But yeah, so that's kind of my
for your and you said your free group was 3 days, and what did you do for those 3 days for your dog group?
We haven't done it yet.
Next week.
So we're following the Angie Belmar's recipe, which I think, Catherine, did you post that one?
Yeah, so it's like a free group every week, and 2 of them are coaching sneak peeks.
Yeah.
And those will be every other.
And she talks about the recipe for how she does it, whether it's all in one day or whether it's a week. Like, it's basically 5 topics spread out. Yeah. So we'll do some fun stuff, like healthy activities you can do with your dog. I was thinking about doing like recipes for like dog treats, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's relatable to, you know, the fitness and health. And then we can talk about like, oh, like, because I'm a coach, I now know how to, you know, make more time because I've learned how to whatever and spend time with my dog because that's something that I enjoy. And because I'm a coach, I've learned that about myself or whatever. Like, it's all relatable.
That's a great idea. Thank you. Because I struggled with that. Like, I'm like, I don't know. Because I watched that call, but I couldn't figure out, you know, okay, Disneyland. Okay, that's great. But I couldn't figure out. So that gives me a lot of ideas. Thank you.
Yeah. You can join our group if you want.
Yeah, totally. When is it?
I know you love dogs. August 28th through 30th. And then I wanted to touch a little bit on like making your connections like on Instagram. I was kind of like feeling like I just kept running into people that had already dominated different hashtags. And I was getting really frustrated with it because I felt like every time I found a hashtag that I really related to, then it was like coach, 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 coach. And I'm like, God, what am I doing wrong? So I kind of found that if you think more in terms of like events, so like I mentioned this on the call last week, I was looking at hashtag Iowa State Fair. Okay, well, Iowa State Fair has a theme. It's called Nothing Compares. So I looked at hashtag Iowa State Fair, hashtag Nothing Compares, hashtag fair, hashtag fairgrounds, like all those different things. And a lot of people that don't normally hashtag a lot of stuff were hashtagging it because it's a big event and they were hashtagging it. So I was like not running into a lot of coaches. So that's one of my tips is think about like events that might have happened recently or are happening or coming up because they don't always, that might not be something that a coach always hashtags. Because if it's an event, like why would you hashtag that every day? Like I'm not always going to have hashtag Iowa State Fair. That, you know, why would I do that? So when those events are around or just recently happened, you a lot of times are going to find a lot of people there that don't normally hashtag. And if there's like a theme or something else that they might have, or if you're looking at that hashtag and you see them tagging something else, like if it's a different artist that's similar to the one they went to or whatever, then you can just flow through and see those other ones too. And then when you put in those hashtags in Instagram, you type it in to search it and hit tags, and you find that hashtag at the top, it will show you other hashtags that are similar. So I might put in Iowa State Fair and then at the top it'll say like fair, you know, Iowa State, you know, blah, blah, blah. And so then it basically is telling you, here's some other things that are really similar to this. So if you put in like dog mom, it'll come up like dog park, dog love, blah, blah, blah. So you might see something on there like, I didn't think about searching dog park, you know, like, so if what you're coming up with has a lot of coaches in it, try one of those other ones that's similar. That's helped me a lot to not feel like I was just running into constant coaches.
There's also the option too when you're searching to search places as well as hashtags. So like you can search, I mean, if there's like one of your favorite restaurants or something that's not too far away from you, like you can search something like that too.
Yeah.
Because people sometimes who don't use hashtags will still like, they don't even realize they're tagging their location in pictures.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hard, and there wasn't too many, but from that I've gotten like 4 or 5 followers.
That's awesome.
And I have one girl, she's like running to be like Miss Mexico.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, we're together. I didn't even realize she's local.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's kind of my current process. Do you guys have any other questions about what I'm doing?
So how long does that take you?
Like I said, I kind of have a competition with myself on the adding and connecting part because I can do that pretty fast now. Like now that I've gotten really good at scanning really quick, you know, the nice thing about messaging them the next day is you've already ruled out the fact that they're a coach. So you know that you don't have to like comb through them again. You can quick peek at them. What did I like about this? Oh yeah, their dog. Hey, your dog is super cute. Whatever. The adding and connecting, I can usually get 20 at least in like 20 minutes, like because it really only takes like it's less than a minute to look through. And sometimes I like really think people are cool and I legit just start like creeping their entire profile. I get distracted sometimes. And though, I was gonna mention on those ones where I'm like, we need to be friends, like where I'm like almost like fear of missing out, like I need to be friends with this person because they seem really cool. I usually like I'll put like a little heart or a star next to their name so that when I talk to them the next day, like I'm a little bit different about how I approach them. Like if I feel like, oh man, they'd be so good on my team, like I want to be friends with this person, I might approach contacting them a little bit different. Like, oh my gosh, I looked at your whole profile and I totally got sucked in, and I just feel like we have a lot in common. Like you seem so fun. Like what do you do for a living? Like if it doesn't say, or like, oh my gosh. And then I noticed that you're a nurse too. Like, so I had to say hi, you know, like those are the ones that those are the ones that you should be like having like a more fruitful conversation with. If you like look at their profile and you're like, they just seem super cool. Like they need to be a part of our club. You know, some people you're going to look at and you're like, they seem cool, but you're not like, oh, I want to be friends right now, you know, and like they're cool to contact, but the ones that you really vibe with, like, those are the ones I approach a little bit differently, and I might say a few more things when I reach out to them. And those are the ones that I'm going to also come back to and follow up with later if I don't hear back from them. So that's just my little cue to myself, like, this person was really cool. Don't give up on them.
So if I find someone like that on Instagram, I actually turn on notifications for their posts. Do you do that regularly?
I haven't.
I don't do it for a lot of people because it does pop up like on your home screen if they post. But if it's someone that I'm like have a girl crush on, if you go here, I'll just go to like your profile. Hopefully you guys can see this. Can you, oops. Boo-doo-doo. Okay, can you see this right here?
Yeah.
I'm doing this backwards, so it's hard. If you click on the three dots up top, you can click on turn on notifications.
Oh, cool.
So then you'll actually get like a message when they post. So that way, try not to be a creep and be like the first person to comment every single time they post, because I realized that I was like getting a little antsy. In your face.
Yeah. I like this post.
But it is nice though, because then you're like, when you start having a lot of people that you're following on Instagram, it can be easy to lose people.
Yeah.
Like real quick.
For
so
sure.
That's one of the things that I did for like people I like super vibe with. I don't do it for everyone though. Probably like less than 10.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. Especially for those ones that you're like, I want to keep my eye on this person. I don't want to freak them out, but I want to keep my eye on them.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah. What else was I going to say? I was going to say something.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
As far as like actually following people, do you follow them all or do you just like and comment?
I do follow them. When I like and comment, I also follow them. Because to me, like if somebody like likes a bunch of my stuff and then they hit follow, like I'm like, oh, they're like, they want to see more, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it sends me a message of that they like want to see my stuff. So if I do that to them, that is what I'm saying. Like, I want to keep seeing your stuff. And then 9 times out of 10 by the next day, they've followed you back. I mean, not always. Some people are like, they will like take you back off because they are not interested, even though they have a public profile. They're not looking for people that they don't know. So like, you have to not take offense to that, because it is kind of annoying sometimes where I'm like, oh, I really liked this person and I know I added them, and I go and look them up again and it's like, what is it, blue again, where it says follow, and I'm like, they took me off. That's rude. Like, I thought we were going to be friends. And then I cross them off my list and I'm like, bye. Didn't want to be your friend
We are
anyway.
not friends.
But yeah, so far it's working well. Like I honestly like just had to get over myself and like realize that like it's okay to just talk to people and not be worried about like what I'm saying. Like not everything has to be like a lead in for fitness or whatever, and just be more normal. Like I feel like I've seen so many YouTube videos where like just be natural, just be natural, just be natural. I'm like, I am being natural. Are you into fitness? Like you know, like I'm being really natural. Like do you work out? Like what do you do? You know, like it's not natural. Like you wouldn't like meet someone if Catherine was like, hey, this is my friend so and so. I wouldn't be like, do you work out? Like what do? Do you work out at all? Like how do you stay in shape? So I just had to be more like normal. Like what would I say if I met somebody like, oh hey, what do you do? Where are you from? Like that kind of stuff. Or like, oh my God, I love the Iowa State Fair too. Or like I started like 20 conversations with like, oh my God, that corn dog looks amazing. Which stand did you get it at? Like I love corn dogs. I can talk about corn dogs all day. Like I've had like 10 people I've had like corn dog conversations with. But it's legit. Like I love the Iowa State Fair, so I can talk about that all day. So that was like perfect for me to be able to just like bring up stuff like that. Like, oh my God, did you see the big bowl? Like it was huge, whatever.
You know, one mistake that I've made with trying to be like just a conversation is someone will post something and I'm like, oh my gosh, where was that? Then I go back and I look and it says where they were, like on the bottom of the picture. And I'm like, delete. And then I retype it. But that's happened to me so many times. I'm like, oh.
Totally. Or I'll get like halfway through typing a message where I'll be like, oh my God, I'm a nurse too. And then I'm like, wait, was this the one that it said nurse? Like, cause when I do it, when you're messaging so many people, you're like, I think I just read that. And I'm like, wait, I better go back. Cause I don't want to, say something like if their bio at the top says I'm a nurse from Des Moines, Iowa. And I'm like, are you a nurse? Like, yes, it says it right on my bio, like.
Oh, I never thought to read the bio.
Oh yeah.
Oh, good idea. I
Yeah,
just look at pictures. I'm like, picture. I like that picture. Okay, now I'm going to say something.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
so
the bio is what they want you to know, like where a lot of times they'll say where they live, what they do, just like us, like mine, it's like my top 5 interests or whatever it is. So if somebody messages me and they're like, ask me something that's so obvious on my profile, I'm going to be like, you didn't even look at it. It works, person. Go away. Like,
And sometimes people can be deceiving too. They have like super cute pictures and then you read their bio and it's like child of Satan, like something that's so freaking creepy. And you're like, oh my God, I didn't want to message someone like you. Because you can find some really freaking weird people on Instagram.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like she said, yeah, like when, I pass on a lot of people. It's like, oh my God, no thanks. Or, if there's something on there, like, I don't know about you guys, but like, I don't like it when people are overly political. I don't like it if they're like, oh, don't give vaccines to your kid. Like, don't, no. Like, this is a fun, like, social media, if that's how they are on social media, like, no, I'm not going to be friends with them. Like, we're just not going to hit it off. So as soon as you see a post like that you're like totally disagree with, even if the rest of their profile seems okay, like you're not going to be friends with that person. So don't add them just to add them, because you don't want a bunch of followers that are not cool.
Exactly. And sometimes you need to scroll to figure out if they're in high school or not, because I have found out that they look old now. They wear a lot more makeup than I used to.
The struggle is real.
I had a girl that was all set up for a coach sneak peek and then found out she was 17. So,
Y'all, next year.
Yeah. Yeah. Call me.
I was like, you are not 17. You're 25. There's no way.
I legit had a conversation with this girl that like was talking my ear off about like the programs we have and stuff, and I was telling her like she looked to be like young 20s, like fairly young looking, but she was fairly well spoken for how she was talking and stuff, and how she was like, yeah, I just kind of want to tone up, lose like 10 pounds, like, so I don't have a lot to lose, but I just want to get toned up, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, okay. having a conversation with her about it, whatever. And then I like was looking at her profile a little bit deeper, and I was like, gosh, she looks really young in some of these pictures. Like some of them she didn't at all, and some of them she did. And I was like, is that like a sister? Like what's happening here? And then finally I was like, hey, if you don't mind my asking, like, we have an age limit for our business. How old are you? And she was like, oh, I'm 16. And I was like, maybe you should ask your mom if you can buy these programs. Like, oh my God. She still follows me and like likes all my stuff. And it's like, oh my God.
Sometimes it's hard to tell.
She's a cool 16-year-old, but I'm like, I can't help you. And now I feel weird for talking to you so much. I was like,
happens.
She's like, I'm gonna talk to my mom. I'm like, oh, okay. Or this weird person talk to you on Instagram.
Oh man. I wasn't paying attention. We may or may not get cut off. But does anyone else have any more questions for Jill? That was awesome. And I mean, for the people who are watching this recording too, like Jill is talking to a boatload of people and she's getting this done in like an hour. So the fact that she's able to do that is pretty phenomenal. So if you're just trying to like just start out and just doing your power of threes, I mean, talking to 3 people a day, following up with 3 people a day, like you can really get that done in 15 to 20 minutes. So, I mean, this system is definitely doable for people who are working in very, very short pockets of time. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like when you're first starting out, I wouldn't recommend like trying to do 25 people, but once you get your process down, like start with 3, go to 5, go to 10, whatever, until you get to where like my daily goal is 20, but I always make like 25 to 30 boxes. So that way, like if I don't quite make it all the way there, I still don't feel like I'm like, oh, I did 1, like, cause if you set a goal of 3 and you do 1, it's like, like that's not going to give you a lot of movement. So the more, the better is always my philosophy, but I don't know work anymore.
So, so then do you have how many to invite to your group as well? Or do you just kind of include that in your messages? How do you keep track of that?
As far as invites go, like I track it through like where we're at in our conversation. So if I get to a point in that conversation where I have invited them, then I write down on my sheet their name and then I put an I. That's how I track that I invited them. And then if I need to follow up later, I know I invited them. So I can go, hey, we talked about being in that group. Are you still interested? And then if I'm doing like an invite spree where like I have a challenge coming up and I know I'm like, okay, all these people that are in yellow, I'm just going to throw myself out there and invite them because they're, we're not getting there in the conversation or whatever. I'll make a new list that's just for invites that day. And just, that's where it's more like a copy and paste kind of thing. Like, hey, I forgot to mention I'm doing this challenge coming up. I know we talked about how you love dogs or whatever. Did you still want in? Add me on Facebook, whatever. So I do it that way. So I'm kind of like, I don't do like a specific like list of invites every day. I let them build up a little bit so that I can message like 20 or 30 people at the same time with basically the same message, because it saves so much time if you can just copy and paste. You might change like the name or add a little something else at the end or whatever, but it saves a lot of time when you can just like do them all at once.
Thank you. Because I think that's where I'm stuck, is like, it's easy for me to connect, follow up, but then the invite, it's like, I don't, like you said, like I don't have enough bulk. So that list is always short and I'm sitting here then scratching my head, and that's what I think wastes my time. So this is going to be, I really like this. Thanks, Jill.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, the free group makes it so much easier. Like you can invite 100 people to a free group and not feel weird about any one of them. Like sometimes it's hard to invite somebody you've never met to something that they have to pay for, like that's hard no matter what you do. But I don't feel weird being like, it's like this free thing coming up, like if you're interested. And then through that, like I have a couple of people that are in our coach sneak peek right now that did a free clean eating challenge. So I was not necessarily a believer in free groups before because I felt like it was just busy work, but it's legitimate that those people then, now they trust you. They spend a week talking to you, so to speak, and now they trust you. and they're going to be more likely to do a paid challenge or join a coach sneak peek or whatever with you, because now they feel like they know you. They've heard you talk live, they've seen you post, whatever. They kind of feel like they've got to know you. And I made sure to talk to especially the cold market people during my free group. I talked to everybody during free groups privately outside of the group, but I made sure to especially like talk to them a lot. Like, hey, what do you think of it? Like, have you ever done anything like this before? Like, check in with them like 2 or 3 times during that week, so that they are also getting more conversation with you and don't feel like they're just a fly on the wall in the group. Anything else? We're probably gonna
Good
get
stuff.
going.
That was really good, Jill.
Thanks. Let me know if you guys think of any other questions. Like I said, I'm still in a development mode of this process, but I feel like I've honed it to where I can kind of like do it fairly quickly. So, yeah.
Awesome. All right, cool. Well, I will definitely get this posted tomorrow in our group as well. But yeah, if you guys think of anything, let Jill know. And I hope you all have a great week.
You too. Talk to
All
you
right,
later.
bye, guys.
Bye.